Welcome back to another episode of the Steebee Weebee Show. We have a very special guest tonight. Please welcome, for the first time on the podcast, musician, composer, beat maker, Lisa Vazquez.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I
awesome
discovered you on Instagram, and we haven't had a lot of female. I think you're our first producer. I've interviewed DJs, we've had Shorty, a couple other ones, but so this is a first for the Steebee Weebee Show, and we're going on over 300 episodes.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm honored, and I had no idea you got the skills on the piano.
Oh no, I mess around.
Elton John, look out!
I mess around. But
humble too. Okay, I see.
Are you a native of LA?
No, I'm actually from Portland, Oregon originally. So I just moved here about 3-4 years ago, and definitely different here. But mostly I'm loving it. Just the opportunities and everything. Weather, of course.
And then before you came over, I mean, maybe we could start with this because you posted something very inspirational, and it's this thing that you're actually triggering a beat. And it says, allow or enable to escape from confinement.
Yeah.
Now, as a musician and with what you do, that's not a good place to be, is confined, is it?
Yeah. I mean, I could go fill the whole podcast just talking about that kind of. But, in short, it's just, as, creating and trying to put stuff out there into the world. It's this kind of ebb and flow of the joy of creation. But
I like the ebb and flow part. Yeah.
Yeah. It's but then the pressure to do something specific with it, and then if it's not worthy, if you're not doing this specific
to a standard, or to a
it's
level.
and usually it's, ourselves, we put the standard on ourselves, but
a very high standard, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely a perfectionist, as I'm sure
Me
a
too.
lot of us are.
Me too. And because I'm working on stuff too right now, and now I hate it, and I don't want to put it out. Yeah, because I've heard it so many times, and I'm like, and because I nitpick at every little, I'm like, nah, I didn't say that right, or it's a little offbeat there. Why do you think we're our worst? A lot of artists are their worst enemies.
I mean, I think that's just kind of the nature of being human. It's especially when we care a lot about something, we really just, we want it to be perfect, but then that can obviously be to a fault when, we let it get in the way of just moving forward. We just can't, just put it out there because we give so much grace to other people for their work.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. But then when it comes to our own stuff, we're just there's no room for error.
Yeah.
It's
it's
ridiculous.
Are we afraid of being judged as well from the world judging as well?
I mean, I'm sure there's part of it that's that, but I think for me, it's a lot of it's just for myself. I just, I want for it to be what it is in my head. I just want it to be this grand opus, but I really got to relax about that because I think there's beauty in the imperfections. I think that's what people really connect with.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's why I don't like nothing against my own people, but like BTS. I can't stand those dudes. Because it's fake. It's not fake, but it's dude, these dudes ain't even really, it's like a manufactured thing. Yeah. The way they look and even their lyrics and their music, it's really did they really write that? Or
it's marketing is what gets people to a point a lot of times, so it's not necessarily about what people will really connect with, but it's what gets seen because it's what is able to get out there. So
my mom is obsessed with these boys, and I've been trying to do the hip hop beat making thing for years, decades now.
Yeah.
And I remember, I gave my mom a CD shrink wrap, and I went back years later, and it was still in the shrink wrap. And it hurt my feelings.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe she just wanted to preserve it. Like, it's
no.
Oh.
She does not care. And she's got framed pictures of BTS all over her home.
Okay, well that
like
one's
those are her
boys. A little bit.
But anyway, let's go back to the positive. As far as putting stuff out there, it's selfish to withhold your art, isn't it? Like, let's say you didn't put it out.
Yeah, kind of in a way, because I think, a lot of why when we find something that we're super passionate about, I think that's basically, what our purpose is here, to like, it's a conduit for sharing like who we are.
I like that word.
Yeah.
Can you write that down? Conduit? That's a good one. That's a good one.
No, I think about that a lot. It's just like, because we are just like, this vessel for like sharing. Exactly.
Like a catalyst to
sharing information and just like and we're gonna speak to the people that we're supposed to speak to. It's not for everyone,
even if it's one on the planet.
Absolutely.
And you inspire that person, like, to do something, or like to do whatever.
Exactly. I mean, I find a lot, like, when people get inspired to do stuff that's not music related, it's just like, this got me to, like, remodel my house and start that project or whatever it is. It's just like, it's motivation.
So what's your musical background like? What did you grow up listening to? Like, what cultivated you as an artist and a composer and a musician?
Well, I listened to a lot of like funk and soul when I was growing up. Like, my dad played a lot of records. That's
verified. That just verified. That's certified there. I like, dude.
Hey.
Respect.
Well,
because you didn't say something else. Like, you didn't say
like BTS,
like you didn't say like Britney Spears as like your, you know what I'm saying? At the foundation, so that you just.
Well,
if this was like interrogation,
are you hating on Britney?
No, I'm not hating on Britney. I'm not hating on.
Okay.
Hey, I like a lot of pop stuff too. Even Taylor Swift as well. People hate on her, but she could write a damn song.
And she's super tall.
Like that song about, she's talking about like a ball, like a disco ball, and how it's reflecting, and when it drops, it shatters into a million pieces. Like, she's a good songwriter.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, she didn't get to where she is. For lack of talent. So
let's get back to the funk records and.
Like my dad listened to records growing up, like like Kool and the Gang, and I don't know, Ohio Players and all that kind of stuff, and just like but and then Prince, Michael Jackson, all that stuff.
Rest in peace to the king.
Yes.
Prince. Oh my God.
Yeah, Prince definitely, like, and a lot of his backing bands, at least in his videos, were women. So that was a huge inspiration.
Remember Purple Rain, like the poster?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, damn. People were envious of that. Like, God, the perfect hair, perfect songs, his voice.
He was
the shit. Rest in peace, Prince. He was the shit.
Definitely.
Yeah, who else? I like this. Yeah, go ahead.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I could just go on. Every time I think about like who my inspiration is, my head explodes, because it's just, it's always changing.
It's different genres as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
like
Latin
music definitely was a huge thing. Like, I played congas for a lot
that's
growing
what's
up.
up. Yeah,
like drums and congas were my first instrument actually. So like in Latin bands, I would play congas and sing and stuff. Okay. And then in hip hop groups as well, like do like vocals.
Name a few. I'm just curious. I always like to ask the musicians.
Like Buena Vista Social Club or Rodrigo y Gabriela. Like, there's like flamenco stuff.
Didn't they
like
have a DVD out, or they had a movie?
The Buena Vista Social Club.
I think I own it somewhere in my closet.
Yeah, probably. It's in the shrink wrap still.
No, it's not. No, because I watch.
No,
I watch most of my stuff. What about like you said, hip hop, old hip hop groups as well?
Yeah. Let's see, old hip hop groups.
We've got to mention the Wu-Tang.
Of course, Wu-Tang. Of course, Wu-Tang.
Who's your favorite out of the Wu?
it's kind of a tie between RZA, maybe a Method Man. I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah.
But
What about the GZA?
No, the GZA for sure. Well, and his new series that he put out. What is it called? Liquid Science or something like that.
Because you know what? They both produce. RZA, do they both produce? I know that RZA does.
Yeah, well, I mean, but the show that GZA has now, it's like Bill Nye the Science Guy, but more advanced, I guess. Or I don't know if it's more advanced, but different. It's like just, but it's exploring just science topics and like oddities and stuff. It's super interesting.
Bless you. Are you falling asleep over there? I need. Hey, hit that Coca-Cola. I need you here. Nice and alert, okay? That's so what was it like growing up in Portland as well? A lot of nature and trees and everything?
Tons of nature, lots of trees, and yeah, the culture there is interesting. Like it's supportive, but it's not the city itself like isn't as supportive of music as an industry really. So there's not many gigs and money to like pay performers and stuff.
Really?
So it's a little there is, but it's just not as like here it's completely different.
Right. Like, now, when did you start wanting to create music yourself?
Well, when I was playing in bands, the logistics of getting practices together and having everybody agree on stuff, it was really hard. And so I just was like, I really want to keep pushing forward and not have to like ask 8 people like, what to do, just kind of do it myself. So I actually went to school for audio engineering. To kind of learn how to, just like do digital stuff and set up a home studio.
So this is after high school?
Yeah.
And then what, you didn't go straight to college?
No, I took a break from that, from going to college,
So kids, you don't have to go right into university or state college. You could chill, take some time off, figure things out. Maybe go to junior college, maybe take an art class.
Absolutely.
And
I did
people don't know that
for a while.
Right?
I was a professional potter, fun fact.
But that's cool. You learned a trade. You learned how to do that. Yeah. So kids, you don't have to like feel pressured to go into college or feel like you're forced to do that.
Yeah.
'Cause I know a lot of
Totally. I mean, I can't even imagine like I actually even got my GED before I went back to college, and I didn't even really like. I hated high school, to be honest. Like it was.
See, kids, you don't even have to enjoy high school, kids.
I mean, there was a couple teachers that were cool, but but yeah, I just I took a break and then just kind of explored and was trying to figure it out. I went to school for environmental engineering for a while. Like I did like science stuff, and then also with music simultaneously, and eventually the music kind of won the battle of which one I was going to focus on more.
Did you remember your first piece of gear or instrument and how it made you feel when you purchased it, or do you remember that? Because I have some old dinosaur bones, and I have a story of this bad boy. This is ASU, circa ASU 1990 something.
Okay.
97, 98.
I don't even know.
So shout out to DJ Yellow Jacket, Ken.
Awesome.
I kind of shorthanded him. He set a certain price, and I had like maybe $125 on me, and I go, please. And then, this is the first sampler. And then it was cool because you could put batteries in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I was like, wow.
I mean, some of those old ones legit are really great. Like people kind of.
So this is Roland. And it's just your basic sampler, just how the other ones are with the 8 buttons.
Right.
And I didn't even know how to. I had to just learn as I went, But so you have like. You have kind of your own trajectory as far as some of the gear.
So now
stuff.
you're just making me think of, because before I got turned on to MPCs and stuff, like
that's what's up.
Yeah, like but I found a Roland piece of gear that was for hand percussionists, because at the time like I was still doing like hand percussion.
A drum machine?
Yeah, it was made into. It's like a circle, and the pads are like. I don't know what the shape you call that, but whatever. It's in a circle, and but it was like $1,000, and but you could put your own samples on it, and it had a bunch of drum kits.
So you could sample into it.
Yeah,
and then there's sounds in it as well.
Yeah, and the sounds were really good quality, and they were mostly like percussion and kit sounds, which is what I was more focused on at the time. And then I would do live looping with that, and like live loop my vocals, and then live loop the percussion thing, and that was kind of like my first experience at like making my own beats and doing that live. So I did that for a while before I did it the way kind of I do now.
I'm a looper myself.
Yeah,
I'm not the best producer, but I learned production because this is, you know, kids at home. This loops. Looping is something that it stems from pause tapes back in the day where they would extend like a break beat or something. But the sampler, ladies and gentlemen at home, if you know, because this is going to be mostly for producers or beat heads or the sampler on a button you could like extend like and make the sample loop. Have you ever done like looped something and then it's not perfect but you kept it anyway?
Oh yeah, well let's
talk about that.
Because when the first looper that I had, probably not the first one, but the first one I was doing live, like it, you know, it's not quantized. Oh yeah, and so show? Oh yeah, that's how I did it before I even would perform. Like I said, before the MPC, so it wasn't sequenced. It was just, you know, it was just by feel, and I would be just a fraction off sometimes, but you just had to roll with it because sometimes you just like you don't want to start your whole thing all over again. And I mean, I think that really actually got me a lot better with time and also with harmonies because I would do vocals. And if the harmony's just a little bit off, I mean, you hear it over and over and over, and you're like, oh god. And so it helped me like really practice. You know,
like to do the live set.
Yeah, it was nerve wracking though because people.
Do you remember your first show in LA?
Actually, my first show in the LA area was in like the IE, and it was definitely it was an interesting one. I think it was the 4th of July. Oh wait, there was a couple different ones, but there was like
Inland Empire, folks.
Yeah. And it was punk versus hip hop. Tumex played, and
shout out to the homie Alex.
Tumex, yes.
Yo, we love Alex here.
Yes, Alex is the homie.
Yeah, Alex is the homie
for sure.
Shout out to the Shapeshifters and Visionaries.
Yeah,
all that
Visionaries,
stuff.
Matus, a bunch of folks.
How'd you meet Alex?
I met him originally at that show, I think.
Really?
But I don't think he remembers me from that.
He probably does. Yeah,
possibly, yeah. I mean, and then just like, you know, how the hip hop community kind of is fairly small. Yeah.
And then Einstein liked your post too. So how do you know Einstein from Ugly Duckling?
I don't know.
But he knows who you are.
Okay, cool. Like,
you know what I mean? And that's like OG Long Beach. Fucking, yeah, true school. True school crew, you know?
Yeah.
So I noticed he liked your post.
Awesome.
Liked your thing.
Yeah, I mean,
so isn't that crazy though? People that you don't even know might be liking your shit.
It's wild sometimes.
You know, like that's crazy.
I've been falling back a little more, like, you know, I don't like obsess over the social media like I used to. Thank God. And
why is that? Is because
sanity.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Because people can get critical towards. Like one comment can mess you up.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not so much. I mean, yeah, there's been times, of course, where I'll be in a mood or whatever, and then I think it was mostly during the pandemic, like where everybody was kind of like
just chiming in.
Yeah, there was a lot of emotions going on. You could say
that, a lot of hate.
Yeah, and
so do you get mostly from female haters or like men? Because I can see it from both, because they might be jealous, like, because you might be better.
It's mostly men. It's definitely mostly men.
Why?
I mean,
can I tell you why?
They're jealous, or no? It's they're just like, I haven't gotten anywhere.
Yeah, they might be jealous, and they might be like, oh, they've been in a basement and trying to do it for, you know.
Yeah.
And so, and they, you know, they see you kind of shining on your reels and, you know. Yeah. Advancing on your social media, and they might be jealous of that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can. Usually, anytime I've like really gotten like pissed at the way that somebody, they're just like, oh, these are one of my throwaway beats. Like, why would you? I'm like, why would you even say that? And then
I hate that. That bugs me so much.
I look at their thing and they have like 3 followers, and it's like, I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. But it's really weird.
But
why people would
get. They describe a piece of art as like garbage.
Yeah.
Like, who says that?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, I certainly have my opinions about things, but I don't go around like just knocking people because of an opinion.
Do you even comment anything negative on?
No. Like, it's
does anyone in this room ever comment anything negatively on social media? That's a negative.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they got their own problems. So it's, but yeah, for the most part, it's, I ignore any, which luckily there's not any much of anything that I notice that people are saying negative, and it's just, yeah, but yeah, to get back to what I was saying before, as far as taking a break, like more, or take a step back from social media a little bit, is just, you know, it's good to balance your life just with other things besides like worrying about with the internet, what's happening on the internet.
But so on the positive note, it's like I found you through social media.
Yeah.
Like, because of,
it's amazing.
From mutual friends, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay. You know, and then that's cool.
Absolutely.
That you're able to do that.
That's kind of what got me to, it's because when I first started with Instagram, I didn't really get it. I didn't have a flow with it whatsoever. And it finally just occurred to me, okay, well, if people that aren't my immediate circle are ever going to see what I do, this is a way to have it happen. And so, you know, I just started sharing kind of me in my studio, just doing stuff, what I would normally do anyway. And it seemed like that was the best way, because it didn't feel forced. It wasn't like I didn't do like a bunch of editing or anything. It was just kind of, you know, really focused on what I was just doing naturally.
Yeah. Now, I remember one night the homies came to pick me up, and it was like late. And I didn't realize that L.A. had specifically a beat scene, because they brought me to this kind of like a rave type deal. I thought it was a rave, but it wasn't. Each room had like different beat makers, and then they were like they're like triggering stuff live, and I'm like, what the hell is this? But so can we speak upon the fact that there's certain pockets even in L.A. where it's just where there's no rappers or any vocalists, it's just primarily beat making. Like, DiBiase comes to mind.
Totally,
right? And is that he's part of that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I kind of know, but I kind of
No, you sound like you definitely know.
Yeah. But so when did you discover that pocket? Yeah,
it was probably like a year or two into me being here. I know found like the producer showcases that were happening. So there's like Beat Cinema is one of them. There's what was the other one that I'm spacing right now? I can't remember it off the top of my head, but there's a couple of
producers.
And so they just do like producer showcases. Oh, and there's one that I just played. It's called Ladies Love Loops. So shout out to them.
Ladies Love Loops. I like
so
that.
they just do all female
catchy.
Producers,
Really?
and it's run by 3 female producers. And
can we shout them out? Let's give them a shout out.
So there's Duck Girl, Krishan, and Elixir. They're all just super awesome. They do kind of like every few months they put together an event, and it's like, you know, craft cocktails and all like what is it, like a video collage that was put on by a woman that did like VHS like collage
like in the background
stuff.
like a live, like so there's visuals too.
And it was really cool, like so that was awesome. They just really tried. And then there was some female rappers that came up, but it was definitely more showcased on the production.
Have you collabed with it? Have you guys put out a project just all female producers?
No, not with them, but
that would be sick. That'd be sick.
Yeah, they may do that. I have been on I was on a record one time with like 12 different female producers from around the world, so that was cool.
So it's a global network of production, female producers.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're out here.
There's some Japanese.
We communicate.
I bet you there's a shut-in, like a Japanese girl in like Tokyo, just
actually,
doing crazy
I could.
Shit with like different machines.
There's Usagi. That's one girl I know.
Let's
like,
shout 'em out.
I think she goes by Usagi, I believe, and it's
shout out to my girl Usagi.
And MPC girl, I think is what she kind of goes by on.
I've had Cam Girl here too. Cam Girl, so shout out to Cam
nice.
Girl. Yeah.
And the Goldie Awards that I was a part of is a beat battle and a DJ battle. And one of the years, I think the year after I was in it, it was a female that won the beat battle, and she was amazing.
So you have what does that entail? Do you have to practice your set, or is it just freestyle?
Oh, you should practice your set.
So it's like, like the DMC, the DJ. Remember back in the day, the DMC, those battles, the DJ battles. Yeah. It's kind of like that, but with beat making.
Yeah. I mean, the DMC is still going strong.
Yeah. Oh, really?
But, yeah, as far as I know. I mean, I know, like, that's how I kind of got tapped in with the whole scratch a DJ world, because they're parallel universe, but they're like
so shout out
different.
To the Beat Junkies and
Beat Junkies
and the Scratch Pickles and all them.
A-Track, he's the one that puts on the Goldie Awards.
Qbert.
So you mentioned
DJ Shortcut. Z-Trip's been here. Yeah. So shout out to Arizona, because I discovered that when I went to Arizona, when I went to ASU, me and my friends would go to the local hip hop shows, and the premier DJ was Z-Trip, and I'm like, who's this guy? He's
amazing.
He's really blending. And that's when I noticed like a good DJ versus a bad DJ, because he would really blend on the fly. He would blend records. I'm like, and it was simultaneous. It was just like, oh wow, he's doing it live. Yeah, and you can't really tell. And he's like, he's like mixing one genre with a different genre. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's really an amazing art. Like when I saw some of those higher level like scratch DJs, like Scratch Bastard. Have you heard? Do you know who he is?
No, dude. I don't. I know just I know like some old school one. I don't.
He's very similar, like on par with Z-Trip as far as like he's been around the world. He puts on this event called Bastards Barbecue, and he has like world class rappers and DJs that'll just go to different locations around the world, and they put on this party, and it's amazing. And
now, are there DJs and beat makers that don't know what they're doing, but they're popular?
Of course, just like with anything else. I mean, I'm not gonna name any names, and I probably wouldn't even be able to.
And I don't even want to bring up Serato.
Oh, why not? I love Serato.
Because I heard that a lot of them just go right to Serato, and then they don't learn the foundation.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, okay. So, I'm just gonna be in defense of Serato, because I love those guys. They're actually really awesome. I know the.
Okay, we'll edit that out. Okay, we can edit that out for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
But I know what you're saying. Like, it's as far as like, not really learning how to use actual records at first, and like just using the software, and not really like learning so much how to blend and whatever. But I mean, the Serato has been around for a really long time, and most of their DJs, I mean, you still have to learn like the basics to be able to even use the software. Like, I don't even really know how to use like the mixing software.
Is it pretty complicated?
I would say that it's just like anything else. I mean, there's a learning curve, and I'm just like, I don't want to. Yeah. No, but I mean, I know basic stuff. I've made some mixes and things, but to do a whole DJ set, it's a different skill set. It's just
so how much practice, how many hours do you need to put in to like be that competitive on that kind of platform?
As a DJ or a producer or either? I guess
as a producer, for a live producer set.
I mean, I don't know. Well, they say it's 10,000 hours. I wouldn't refute that necessarily, because it feels like it takes 10,000 hours. Like,
so are you? I've been doing it for many years. A lot.
I would not have, like, the stuff that I was making in the beginning. I mean, I did live performances kind of the whole way through, but I had also been performing music like before I was doing that type of stuff. Yeah. I think that helped a lot. I could fall back on, like, if I messed up, I would just like, well, now I'm going to sing a little bit and pretend that I'm like, that's part of it or whatever, or just drum or something. Is that a part of it
as far as doing a live performance of the set?
You have to be able to, like,
talk to the crowd.
You talk to the crowd.
Are you mic'd up and everything?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I do. I sing and rap, and I do live looping and stuff. Still, like with my MPC performance. Okay, now it's perfect time to be like,
okay,
hey,
folks. So this is
shout
the dinosaur to the upgraded.
So this is the MPC Live. I'm even gonna turn it on to make it all flashy. Woo! So it's battery powered. It has a speaker built in. It's. I mean, the touch screen.
Quick demonstration of
Yeah, well, let's see. It's going to take a minute. So that's, even though this is the newer kind, they still take a moment to load up. But yeah,
and how much is that?
So these, I think, retail for around like $12.99, but you can find them used, at least, and especially the first model, you can find them used for $500-$600, which is still a lot. But
while this is loading up, I have a couple questions.
Sure.
can you sample onto the individual buttons?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
From what mediums? Like just like
you
quarter
can
inch
go directly
in?
from your phone into, so there's two
quarter
inch
inch
ins, and then there's
RCAs.
RCA in, and then there's SD card slot and 2 USB drives, and you could plug into your computer. So pretty much anything you can think of.
Anything audio.
Yeah, super easy.
Now, I don't want you to give away any Jedi secrets, but where do you usually do you gather from everywhere? As far as your sounds.
I was luckily, like, my influences in the beginning kind of showed me, like, you know, a lot of, like, records was one of my and still is, like, my
favorite medium too.
Yeah, one of my favorite mediums, because
I have records over there.
Yeah, there's just a quality in the recordings, because I usually sample from stuff that's like 70s or earlier.
Yeah.
And that stuff, like, usually because it was recorded to tape and it has like just a different kind of quality to it.
And so, who are some of your favorite producers that you look up to, dead or alive?
This is always the crazy question, but okay, of course, like Jay Dilla and Madlib, and local favorites would be like Exile and let's see, Black Milk is one.
Because he's so obscure.
I wouldn't even consider
him. He's kind of weird. He's got like. He's kind of, out there.
I don't know. I mean, I think, because when he, the stuff that he did with Doom and everything, and it's like, yep. I think it was more like classic when he was, at least, back in the day when he was more, first coming up and everything. I guess now, I mean, I guess I never really heard of anyone describe him as obscure, but I guess compared to some other stuff.
Not obscure, but maybe avant-garde.
Sure.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know.
We can edit all that out.
Yeah. It could be avant-garde. I mean, really, I have no idea anymore. Like
No, he's different though, right? Like his production, like because even like he samples like Sun Ra and stuff like.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, like his record, like the way he digs is like he's kind of like really digging for really unique things.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
same thing with Doom. Like Doom would, sample.
Totally.
Prince Paul is one of my favorites.
Definitely a great producer.
So shout out to Prince Paul.
Paul. I mean, there's just so many to name. My mind kind of goes crazy when I start to think about that. I mean, K-Tronada even has been was a huge influence for a while. Even Anderson .Paak, even though, I mean, he's more of a musician than producer, but I'm sure obviously he's considered himself as a producer.
Q-Tip, he didn't get enough credit. Q-Tip from Tribe doesn't get enough credit because he does. He produces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to.
Okay, so let's see. So as you can see, all on these buttons, there'll be.
Hold up. Let's ease into it.
So this is the internal speaker right now. Oops. What did I just do there?
This is cool.
I think I muted that one.
I mean, so what you're doing that live? You're just.
Yeah, so this is the beat, like, as it's sequenced right now.
Can you sequence it yourself?
Yeah, so basically I played out each one of the individual parts of why? Oh, that's why. That's
cool.
I hit
this
the
is
wrong
great.
Button here. Oh,
Don't
that's
get
what I
nervous.
did. No, I just like so.
Don't get nervous at all. Yeah,
since it's a touch screen,
you're in your lab right now.
This is
There's
example
no judgment.
of
Hit that Red Bull if you want. You want to hit the Red Bull?
I'm gonna hit that Red Bull. But with the live looping, this is kind of what would happen because I didn't see my. So it's a touch screen. I hit one of these buttons.
No, you're good. You're good. You're
screen.
good. There's no mistakes in there.
I'm over explaining myself. Just let me do it.
There's no mistakes. There's no mistakes at all. Yeah, I just want to hear the sounds.
It's the Red Bull talking.
Like, I just want to hear the sounds, like, because it's interesting to me. Like,
okay, so I'll just play this. And there's an effects thing on here. So. And then you bring it down. So I switch it up. Each one of these tracks is. So I did like the second melody part, and then the drums part is separate.
Oh,
so when I'm performing live, I'll switch. That's how I do my arrangement. I'll switch back between the different tracks that are here. It's called track mute. da 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 da, and then yeah.
So there's filters on there you could do live.
Yeah. It's really fun. So this is pretty fun.
That's really cool. So that's your now Akai they've kind of progressed through the years, right? Because I had a homie with just the old school gray one. Yeah, MPC. I don't know if it was the 60 or whatever. So what model is this particular one?
So this one's the Live 2, and so this is one of the standalone versions. So the different, for those that aren't, the production side of things, it's so you don't have to use a computer. So I can just create everything. Most of my beats I make, I don't use a computer
at all.
And so only when I do like the final editing, like I'll take what I've made in here and then put it onto my computer to edit it in Ableton for the final like master. But other than that, like,
so is Ableton the standard? Because I keep hearing Ableton.
I think it's whatever you're comfortable with. So the industry standard supposedly, is Pro Tools, Logic, and those ones that are like in the bigger studios usually. But Ableton is huge, and
you could do everything on there, right?
Yeah,
everything.
You can do all the same things. It's just like a little bit different clothing. Like it just looks a little different. The hotkeys are different.
Right.
So,
now, can I give you a little scenario?
Mm-hmm.
What if someone just heard that? And they're checking out the interview.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, man, and he's an aspiring rapper, but he has no gear and no beats.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like collab or do you sell your? Yeah.
Well, so I usually don't sell.
I usually don't
sell my beats.
You don't.
I hoard my beats like they're my golden eggs. Like
I'm not
true.
No, I know that. I know. Yeah, you hold on. They're your treasures. They're your little treasures. But what if someone's like heard that and they're like, oh man.
I mean, if Method Man hits me up after seeing my interview,
so it has to be. Now we're talking.
I'm gonna be like, okay.
So if someone
like
established,
right. And so, like, for example, like your old Droog hit me up the other day on Instagram and was like, I want some beats. And I've still been kind of a little slacking on sending him beats. That's a whole other story. But
what's the what? So will you do individual beats or is it a whole project? Or
I would prefer to do a whole project because I think, but I mean, if it's just a song, then it's just a song. But I mean, there's no ruals. That's kind of
there's
the
no
thing.
rules. Yeah.
And with this art thing that we do, it's just like everybody is just trying to figure it out. That's what I realize the more I do it is
let's stay on that. Let's stay on this.
Yeah.
Though. So what if it's someone that you're like, okay, I'm willing to work with. How do they reach? How do they get in contact with you if they want to collab and work with you?
Yeah, so I mean, well, if Instagram would be one way, but on in my email, like Lisa Vazquez Music at Gmail that's our link on my social media. There's ways to contact me through email. That's the best way, probably.
And then as far as and she's willing to talk prices just through the emails. You know, are you flexible as far as the pricing? As far as if you really get along with the person. And they're kind of down and they're down on their luck, and they're like, I know this is your price range, but man, I only got $418, and this is what I got. My homies, I'm living in my homies.
But what are they gonna rap about? Is the question.
What was that?
If they're gonna talk about like just money and cars, I don't want to make a deal with.
No. So the artist matters.
The art matters. That's the point. It's not really about the money for me. It's
I like
never
that.
really
That's
about
integrity.
the money for
That's
me.
integrity. So you're not willing. What if they're a super nice person, but you can't stand the art, but they have a lot of money? They're like,
I don't care.
I got $20K. I got $20K on that one beat.
How bad is it?
Really bad. Really bad. where you're shrieking when you hear it. You're like, oh.
Then
man,
I just I'd have to come up with an alias at that point. I'd have to like, would be like, my name's not attached. You have to be.
So you don't want to be attached to that.
Yeah, I don't really want to have anything to do with. I'm not like the integrity of the art is more important to me than money. It always has been.
There's a solution to this.
Okay.
So if that's the case, and the guy's like $20K on just, I really like your production, you make them sign a non-disclosure. NDA. So that's an NDA, and then in the agreement, you are not who you are.
Yeah.
There's no Lisa, there's no Vazquez, there's none of it. You know, because Mad Lib, he got Quasimodo, boom,
exactly.
Got, boom, people got aliases in this thing, right?
Yeah.
So would you be down for that?
20,000.
You can live with that.
I mean, it's like if it's on some like racist and like killing people. I mean, it depends on how bad. Like if it's as long as it's just like annoying, it's okay.
The content matters.
The content matters.
It does.
It does to me. Like,
okay, can I give you another one?
Yeah.
What if it's a dude? He's a straight up gangbanger. Straight up. I don't even want to say somewhere in the on the east.
So like
100K.
He's Palestinian. Okay, got it. No,
yeah, 100K for a beat.
100,000.
100K.
Well,
but this person's really like active in his neighborhood. Like big time. Like he got face tat the whole shit.
What's
face
the
tattoos.
You have something against face tattoos? I don't even want
to say he's a hardcore. He just got out of jail, but he's really wanted to make music. And he saw you on Instagram. He's like, I need that. I need those beats.
Yeah, but again, like, what is he gonna rap about? Like, just because he's a gang
banging.
Okay.
In his neighborhood.
$100,000
though. You don't have to say your name.
Yeah, okay. If I don't have to say my name, I mean, it's tough because he's gonna get a beat anyway. He's gonna buy one regardless.
For sure.
So I mean, I might as well get that money, and then I just won't have my name attached to it.
No, but what if he's like, you know what? Hey, Armana, you know what? You're gonna have to put your name on it.
So now he's Mexican.
Yeah. He's straight up East Los gang. Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna have to put your name on it.
I'll just be like, well, I'm gonna have to have some input on these bars, and
I'll bump it up to 120. What's up?
All right. Well, it sounds like I'm buying a house in the desert now, so I'm good.
There you go. See, now, there you go. You can work with that. You can work.
I mean,
with
I don't like it. I haven't been faced with these problems yet.
I know. I like doing these hypotheticals.
We'll see.
What would be an ideal artist that you would want to work? Let's put that positive energy out there.
Yeah.
What would be some artists you would like to collaborate with? You know, like just 3. You know. Yeah.
Okay. Snow Allegra, Anderson .Paak, K-Tronada. I don't know. This is tough.
K-Tronada, isn't there like a live set where like they're DJing and it's like a live stream?
Yeah, he's done a lot of.
Yeah.
There was one.
That,
what was it? What is it called? I think I know which. It's like.
And people are they're dancing the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's like hours of the set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, my mind goes blank whenever those questions are asked because it's just I listen to a lot of different artists, and I mean, it's really tough to decide like who would be like my dream person to work with, but there's a lot of people.
And how do these collabs? How do you usually like? How did you get to the point we're at now, as far as like like networking and meeting all these great musicians? Like, how did you get to this point?
I really at first was always going to events that I thought were interesting, and like where it was producer events or just like other hip hop things and I would just talk to everybody. And
so you would just show up to the events as a patron. You would just show up, pay the ticket, and hang.
And I think that's super important as an artist in general. Like if you're not going out to other shows and supporting other artists, and now I mean that things are a little more virtual. It's the same thing virtually. Like you could still be supportive of the people that you like virtually. Mm-hmm. It's important to, you can't really expect the same in return if you're not really, being supportive of because it's community.
It's community,
isn't it? And so that's one. And then I toured a lot. Like before I really knew what I was doing, I would book tours with other artists. Mm-hmm. And
so you would, how much planning is that though? Like
it's so much. It's
I mean, because usually people have like a tour manager and a booker.
Yep. And
so you would meet promoters just different cities. And
yeah, well, it's like through researching, like, okay, what's the producer event or what's the hip hop event in whatever city? Because there's usually at least like one or two like weekly or monthly things in bigger cities, and you just find out who those people are that put those events on and hit them up. And usually people are pretty nice. If you're like, this is what I do, this is when I'm trying to come through.
And then you set the price with them, with the promoter, like.
Yeah, I mean, when you're first starting out, like it's ideal to get a guarantee, but a lot of times you'll just get door deals, like, or splits or whatever. Right. And so that's,
And a split is you split it with the manager, the other artists.
Yeah, the other artists usually. Every venue is a little different. Every event or whatever is a little different.
And you can break even by having merch as well.
Merch definitely helps. Yeah. Like it took me a while. That helps, right? It took me a while to kind of get more on my merch game, but I'm getting.
Do you got merch right now available right now?
Yeah, so I have.
Let's put that out in the universe. Like, where could someone, if they want to support, like, let's put that out.
Yeah. So on my website at www.lisavazquez.com.
Can you spell that out?
And that's
can you spell the last name too?
Vazquez is the last name, and yeah. So Lisa
Vazquez.
What
do you got? What kinds of stuff you got on there?
I need to upload more stuff, but I have mostly just T-shirts and some jackets, hoodies, earrings. Hoodies. Yeah.
Oh, you got earrings?
I do have some earrings, but I need to
upload them. That's different.
Yeah, and I actually coffee. I have coffee.
You have coffee?
I need to upload the pictures. I need to. But hit me up on Instagram.
How'd you think of the earring? That's interesting to me. Like, how'd you think about that?
So you mentioned Reverie. I saw her sell earrings.
I got her keychain. Yeah. She's been here twice.
She sold earrings at a show that I played with her a long time.
Shout out to Reverie.
She's killing it right now. By the way. But
support these hands and all that.
Yeah. Grouch and who
Grouch has been here.
Nice.
Yeah, Grouch has been here. Eli's been here.
Yeah.
Merce hasn't been here yet.
Scared's been.
I had Eli, Merce, and Grouch.
Nice. Yeah. But yeah, so Reverie had earrings at a show that she was selling, and I was like, ding, that's perfect.
Satori Mop.
Yeah.
Yeah, Satori Mop.
Yep. She got her own little clothing line, and so
she hustles. She's just been hustling. Yeah.
So it just occurred to me like, hey, it doesn't.
Gavlin's
doesn't
been
have
here
to
too?
be. Oh,
Gavlin?
nice.
Gavlin, Reverie, yeah.
Yeah, she moved to Portland for a little bit. I saw.
Gavlin?
Yeah, I think I don't know if she's still there right now, but she went. She decided she can check out those trees.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nature.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful place for sure.
So you got the idea from Reverie, like you saw her.
Yeah, I just was like, earrings. That's a great idea because a lot of women will come to shows and like they don't want the just boxy T-shirts. They'll buy them because they want to support.
Yeah.
But they're not really going to wear them necessarily. Right. And so I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect because I would bought or started selling earrings that I would buy if I would see them, and they've been selling like hotcakes at shows.
Yeah. So how much for a pair of earrings?
Usually 10 or.
So come with at least 10, folks. If you go to our show, at least come with 10.
Yeah, it's like I got like cassette tapes. They're like one of the hottest earrings that I have. They're like little gold, and I have different colors now too. And then just like gold hoops and bamboo.
What about beanies? You got beanies?
Don't have any beanies.
Yeah,
but
isn't that would maybe that could sell
sure.
too, right?
I mean, definitely investing in the merch. Oh, I've thought about the socks.
Yeah.
I really do want to do socks. I've been obsessed with graphic socks lately. I never really cared about socks before, but then once I started, I was like, oh, then my other socks are boring and I don't want to wear them.
Or maybe even the fitted snapback caps.
Sure.
Yeah. But one good thing about in LA, because we have the fashion district, so you could go there and buy wholesale.
Oh yeah.
Whatever, and then if with the caps. I don't know why I'm whispering.
I know, but just don't tell anyone.
You could get your own designs, patched on there or, put on there. Right?
They do the custom stuff there?
Well, yeah. I don't want to reveal too much because I got a homie that's in the retail. I'll just say retail and, there's certain things you could do.
Okay.
As far as wholesale and that you save a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, sunglasses?
Yeah.
Sunglasses.
I
you do that fashion district too. They sell. You get cheap glasses there.
I'm down.
Yeah. So damn, that's cool. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just you're
fine.
Jumping all over the place. So the touring and stuff, and so you learned as you went.
Yeah, it's definitely was. Well, it's an adventure, and like meeting people in person. You know, even if it always wasn't like the greatest show of all time, like meeting the promoters and meeting other artists. Like, I think networking with other artists has been one of the hugest assets of like just kind of growing my audience over the years, because they'll remember you, and it's like they're like, oh, you know, you were supportive of me when I was playing, and you bought a shirt or whatever, or you were just cool. And then over the years, like as they keep growing and, you know, progressing as artists, then we support each other, and we kind of like, you know, cross pollinate our own networks. And
I have another scenario too. Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's all good.
What if out of nowhere SZA reaches out to you?
SZA?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, so you would.
Why is she with the gangbangers and the everybody else scenario? Like, you're like this person just out of jail, but then what if SZA comes up to you? And I'm like, why is that bad?
Well, because that would be if SZA came up to you and she wants to do a whole album.
Okay,
there's some pressure there too.
Yeah, but I'm down for the pressure, SZA.
Okay, so let's put that out. So SZA. If you're watching the Steebee Weebee Show on YouTube,
you never know.
YouTube.com/SteebeeWeebee.
Hey, your friend who knows a friend who knows a friend that knows
Best
SZA.
Believe I've reached out to SZA.
I mean,
why
not?
I gotta throw it out there.
Why not?
So SZA, we love your shit. Or what if Kendrick reached out?
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
That's like going.
Yeah, that's like okay. And I forgot to mention him.
The main. Right there.
His last album was incredible. It was like spoken word, just like talk about a conduit. Like it was. I heard he was like on mushrooms the whole time when he made the album. And whether it's true or not, I don't know. I think it might be just a rumor, but
you know what?
No, that'd be great.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Not at all. I mean, but
he shroomed out on it.
That's why that he like, you know, I mean, it makes sense to if you were gonna make an album just like in a short time period, just like go out to a remote place and just like not done a whole album. I've gone out to remote places and done drugs before. Joshua Tree.
So that's interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. So you have done like hallucinogenics, like you've eaten shrooms,
mushrooms, and
then you've created stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's I like to do the microdosing because I always like to kind of like make sure I can, you know, talk and walk and all that basic stuff. Let's tell the kids. I don't wanna don't do drugs unless it's micro.
So if you wanted shroom, start with the microdose.
Absolutely.
Right. Start with the microdoses. Right. I don't want to give the wrong message. And so you know what I mean. So,
yeah. Well, okay. And another weird fact, this is totally like, you know, whatever. In Oregon now, all drugs are legal, which still blows my mind. It's like Amsterdam over there or whatever. I've never been to Amsterdam either. Everything.
Do you do cannabis? Do you?
I don't really. I smoke a little bit, but I get anxiety usually if I get too high. So I just like a little bit.
Because you would think a lot of people who do this, like they need to smoke, don't they, to feel creative?
Sure. Maybe? I mean, it's I like it when I can hit that sweet spot with it, but if I get too high, I usually just like
you get paranoid.
Yeah, and then I just like want to like deep clean the fridge or do something weird like to keep my mind busy instead of like overthinking about something.
Yeah,
that's like
and you could think that like someone's after you or something.
It's not so much that I'm like, oh no. It's too quiet in here. What is it? Like, I don't even know. It's like, my breath is. What is that? It's like, am I sweating too much? Like, I don't know, just dumb shit. It's just, it's nonsensical. But
so the microdosing, it's like mellow.
Yeah, oddly enough, like it's everybody's body chemistry is different, so whatever works for them works for them. And
where did you hear about the Kendrick Lamar and the micro, like the?
I don't remember where I heard that, so it's totally like I could just be spreading some random rumor, but somebody told me that, and it's I don't know, but regardless, I love that. I love the last album because it was like he was just speaking his truth, and it wasn't about rhyming as much as it was just about telling a story, which is I think what art really should be about, is telling a story.
So you don't have to rap your ass off the whole album. You could do some melodic things as well, and that's just as good, right?
What I'm getting mimed at.
Oh.
Okay. I was okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Okay. My man Tony over here needs some water.
My man
so
Tony
he's like,
there you go, Tony. Yeah.
I did get the miming.
How did you and Tony, if you don't mind me asking? Tony's off camera. But.
At Halloween at Motown on Mondays.
Tony, get in here real quick.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was too quick.
No, get in here, dude. No, really get in here.
For a second.
Do it 2 seconds. Okay, that's fine.
Well, no, okay.
Yeah, how did y'all?
It was on Halloween and Motown on Mondays. We both we went out just to go out, and it was like Twist and Shout came on or something like Motown song, and then wait, was it Twist and Shout or just like Shout? So it's like hands up and shout, a little bit soft,
and it's happened organically.
So yeah, we were just in line like waiting for drinks, and then like we just started like, ooh, hey, and, and we didn't hang out for like a week or two or something after that, but yeah, we went on the Swans at Echo Park. He took me out there to the little Swans thing. It was great. Like
he swept you off your feet, huh? There you go.
It was pretty great because I mean, it's you know.
Is he He's supportive of you.
Very, very supportive.
I could tell.
And
I could tell.
Yeah, he's great. And he's great
because that matters, right?
Absolutely.
Because what if Tone was a jealous producer and like I didn't you know, and then everything, you know, it was a competitive thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that happens too.
Yeah. Been down that road actually. But like no, but you
have?
Yeah, well, it's you know, in the past, like just dating other musicians, it can be hard because you know, at first you know, it seems like, oh, we have stuff in common and everything, but then it's not even really necessarily competitive, but it's just it can be too I don't know, it's weird. Is it? Yeah. It's just it's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah, because you know, definitely like have different philosophies about like the way you're approaching stuff. And
now,
then
do you ask him what he? Let's say you're making a new song.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ask him his opinion? Like, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, well, mostly he'll like chime in with stuff, and it's mostly. It's usually really positive. The only thing that's funny sometimes is like I'll be like just in the very, very raw stages of it, and then I'll just be like, oh, I really, you know, maybe you should do like this with it. I'm like, I'm not even done chopping the sample yet. Like, relax. Like, wait till it's done. And then, but no, I mean, you know,
it's like preparing a meal. Like you have your own method. Like, no, I like to do this. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, hurry up and get the.
But yeah, he'll have feedback, and it's usually really, you know, positive and or constructive in a good way. It's you know.
Now for aspiring musicians, beat makers, producers out there who are watching this, what kind of advice would you give them as far as stuff that's helped you on your path?
I would say, remaining authentic with what you're doing as much as you can. It's easier said than done, but you know, that's I think more important than worrying about like being perfectionist about the technical stuff and just, you know,
he's pointing at his heart too.
Yeah, you know, just emotion.
And I like that you did that, Tone.
For sure.
I like that you did that. Off camera, he went like this.
Yeah, just, you know.
Don't you think that's the number one thing?
Absolutely.
Your heart.
Yeah, you gotta.
If you're not putting your heart into it, then you know.
100%. Like people are gonna know. That's what people are going to connect with. Like if it's real and it speaks to you and it's like, it's, you know, is emotional for you, that'll come across.
So BTS, you ain't cutting it. I don't care if you're selling billions of records. Your heart ain't in it. Your heart ain't in it, BTS. I don't care how much my mom loves you. The heart, it's manufactured stuff. Continue.
Yeah. No, but that's basically it. I don't know. Just don't worry so much about being, you know, having things be perfect. Just keep going, and you know,
you can make mistakes too, can't you?
Absolutely. People like to see that. I've noticed that the stuff that I do, that's the finished, polished work.
They
9
don't like
times
it.
out of the 10, it's just not as like people don't connect with it as much. You know, it's like the rawness is what people connect with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So as far as even the quality could be like radio friendly, but if it's not like raw, they like the raw.
Yeah, I mean that's what's kind of funny. Like when I think about sometimes like all the plugins and stuff that like it's like, yeah, let's throw a bunch of dirt on it and make it sound like it's all weird and humanize it, get it off grid and do all these things that like basically just make it imperfect. Like,
right.
So, you know, because you can program a beat really easily with loops or whatever kind of thing and have it sound pretty decent. But where's the
humanity, the human part of it?
Right.
Because it's digital music, right? So you got to have something. I don't want it like perfect, like metronome. I want some. That's why I like doing mine like on live on my SP303.
Yeah.
And then I'm not like I'm doing it live, so it's not perfect. Sometimes I might be off a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I do that. I think I'm like going back, adding to what you're saying as far as adding that human element into it.
Absolutely.
How do you deal with when you feel like you're stuck, as far as, I guess you would call it writer's block for writers. How do you push through that? I
usually, like, if I can't, get to some kind of like creative burst by, changing like my source of sampling or instrument or whatever, then I'll just take a break, because
you'll walk away from it.
Yeah, because really it's like if you just try to force it, it's not going to be it's not going to be what you want it to be usually.
That's
when
so
you force
true.
it. So,
that is so true.
I mean, sometimes you have to, especially like, I mean, I've had times where I just have deadlines and I just have to do it. And sometimes it does end up being good. But for the most part, like if you're just, just on your day to day and whatever, and are just like kind of hitting a rut, just go for a walk. Like, look at the birds.
That's
and
real. That's
like,
real. Because I've sat there for hours and I can't find the sample. Then I'll turn it off and I'll play Warzone for like 2 hours. And then at 4 a.m, I'll just turn it on, and then there it is.
Yep.
When I'm not looking for it. So when you're not looking for it, you might find it, folks.
Well, yeah, inspiration is everywhere. That's the thing. It's like,
wow, I like that too. I like that. It's everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, how could people best support you right now? Is there a website, and can we promote like upcoming shows? Do you have any things coming up?
So either through Instagram on Lisa Vazquez Music or lisavazquez.com. You can find what I'm releasing really soon, because it's on streaming platforms that I'm the most like. I need to get my streaming numbers up, because that's with the Instagram. How do
they do that? So
hey, go on whatever. Spotify. Yeah, on the singles that I've released like 3 singles in this last couple months.
Let's say the names. Let's say the names.
Got All About It. What was the other one? Humanity, and what was the first one? Strolling on the Grid. Strolling on the Grid. That's actually one of my favorite ones. So, those 3 singles. I put out with Soul Spasm and Chavez Sound. So those are on all streaming platforms, or at least 2 of those are going to be on next Friday out. But one of them, Strolling on the Grid, is out right now.
Because this is out on next Wednesday, so that's good timing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
any just upcoming shows as well.
Right now, I was about to do a little East Coast run, but then I decided to pull back because I just got all these releases coming. So I tend to do like, that's how I've kind of shot myself in the foot in the past, is doing shows too often, and then I don't have enough time to just focus on the releases.
Right.
So right now I don't really have anything lined up that I can think of. Yeah.
As far as shows, yeah. So you're working on the art right now. Then.
Yeah. I've done tons of shows and releases and touring and stuff like that. But the releases is where I just kind of,
You love that, the creating part as well.
Yeah. So I want to, I mean, I've created, like I said, I've been like hoarding a bunch of stuff. So I just have a lot of stuff that's, I have like 3 albums that I'm planning with that distribution and label, Chavez Sound and Soul Spasm. 5-7 Collective, shout out J57.
Any other shout outs? Go ahead.
Rick Chavez. E-Turn, my homegirl, I was about to do a tour with. Tony, of course. My mom and sister.
Back to Tony.
Yeah.
He's a real one.
He is a real one.
You stick with Tony. He's a good man, I could tell.
That's the plan.
He's a good man. I could tell he's got love for you.
Yes.
Right? And he supports you.
Very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tony's a good man, right?
Yeah.
Tony, get in here real quick. Show your face real quick. There you go. This is Tony.
Right. Yeah,
and
Tony.
This is
we have
this
face
is
tattoos.
yeah,
That's how you know.
Yeah. So, thanks. If you wanna can you shout out your Instagram again?
Yeah. So Lisa Vazquez Music and LISAVAZQUEZ Music. And
they have the tattoo.
yeah, so for my birthday, this is after we first started dating. On my birthday, he surprised me at a tattoo shop. My first tattoo on my face.
Yo, that's love. That's love.
It was crazy.
I
was.
Does that hurt?
Whoa. It actually didn't even hurt.
I might want to get something too.
I was really surprised. I mean, since it was really small.
Mm-hmm. It break my mom's heart so much. Yeah, my mom. Yeah,
no.
Dude, I already got it. You know what I tell her? I go, no, this is just stickers.
That's cool.
This is
gonna. Ewok?
Yeah, I got a bunch. Yeah,
like
but maybe just.
Yeah, just a little tear.
Like a sword or something.
A little tear with BTS.
Some nunchucks. Yeah, no BTS. Shame on you, BTS. Shame on you. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Steebee Weebee Show.
Yes.
Go to patreon.com/Steebee Weebee to help support the content. Go to Scissor Bros. That's the other podcast I do with comedian Jeremiah Watkins. Those episodes drop every Friday. Go to youtube.com/Scissor Bros. I'm still working on my project, so stay tuned for that. Dude,
hey,
that was awesome. Was that?
Thank
I mean,
you.
that was
great.
Cool breeze, right? Just
absolutely,
yeah.
It's fun.
Support her music, Lisa Vazquez. All right, on Spotify and all platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and when's the release of your next project? Or are you still working on it?
Yeah. So the plan was to release a whole bunch of singles leading into 3 albums. So the albums.
I like that.
Yeah.
So single album.
Yeah. So there
to give them teasers.
Mm-hmm. So for the next several Fridays, I'll be doing just singles, and then the album will probably be around like October-ish. So
stay tuned. October.
Yeah, I'm gonna announce it soon. But
and then stay tuned, connected to our Instagram as far as the updates.
Yeah,
dude,
perfect.
that was sick.
Thank you.
Yeah.